it'll go away. Everyone's going to be all right. We just need to continue and build our faith and let the Lord do the work for us. And we just, accept the changes, move on, and things will get better. You can be joyful. I don't think about these things all the time. I do a lot of studying, and that takes my mind off these things. And thank God for the Word. If I didn't have that, then there'd be a different story. But we do have it. We have an instrument to take us away from this, and that's the Holy Bible. That's His Word. He came in the flesh, died for our sins, so that we wouldn't have to. We've already died. When we accept Jesus Christ, we've already admitted that we're dead in the flesh. We're done with the flesh, and we want to move on into Holy Spirit. We want to build that spiritual nature up. It takes time. Some people less, some people more, whatever. But that's the hope that I'm holding on to. That and life everlasting, of course, with Jesus in paradise. And I believe it more and more each day as I go. And nothing's going to take that away from me. And I pray and hope that for everyone. All right, sorry. Let's move on. This also from the End Time headlines. Flu outbreak shuts schools, spreads to 36 states. Okay, well, we always have a flu epidemic. Why you take the flu shot, I'll never know, because the strain usually changes every year. And so you're getting a shot for whatever was around previously. You're not getting the flu shot for what's coming around because, unless it's out there and already attacking people, which it will. Anyways, you should know how it works. So Alabama schools were closed Monday due to a flu outbreak. Albertville schools or city schools will resume classes on Tuesday, and Marshall County schools, Boaz City schools, and Guntersville City schools are expected to resume classes on Wednesday, and school officials decided to close schools after 13% of students, sorry. So yeah, I mean, here are our pestilences. And this thing happens every year. There's some other things we got to worry about. The measles outbreak. And the Ebola is still out there. We're going to talk about the Ebola in a minute, too. Where's this from? These are from End Time headlines today. Israeli scientists believe they may have found a cure for cancer. Well, I hope that's, a revelation that they're putting it out there in the news for everyone to read means that they're finally going to come out with a cure. For certain, they do have cures, or you can, pay more in tests and medications and what do you call that? Chemotherapy, which is actually worse than cancer itself. But anyways, they already have the cure for cancer. They do. And with all the stuff that they pollute us with, that they're trying to kill us, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to kill us. Population's too big now. Cure for cancer? Yes. I don't know why this keeps popping up. So a small team of Israeli scientists think they may have found the first complete cure for cancer. It goes on to say, we believe that we will offer in a year's time a complete cure for cancer, said Dan Aridor. New treatment being developed by this company, Accelerated Evolution Biotechnologies, LTG or LTD, call them AB, or ABI, AEBI, Accelerated Evolution Biotechnologies, which was founded in the year 2000 in the ITEK incubator in the Wiseman Science Park. So, anyways, I don't know what this SOAP platform is. So they talk about this. The ABIB developed the SOAP platform, which provides functional leads to very difficult targets. So I'll leave the link there so you can read on about it. Maybe they're going to be coming out with something else that we're going to be battling that we don't know about. I mean, AIDS is still out there. They don't talk about it anymore, but in any case, also from Internet Headlines. So now that we got things going on with this cold weather, this polar vortex that is coming down from the Arctic, hitting the Midwest right now. I mean, they're reporting some temperatures of minus 60. There's nothing normal about that at all. We've talked about this before. The jet stream, those jet streams are all messed up. You know, you're supposed to have the northern polar region, the southern polar region, and then going in opposite directions. And it's supposed to, stabilize, mostly from the equator out to both poles, and have somewhat of a normal, whatever was normal at the time anyway, conditions around us. But no, it's nothing normal about this big breach from the Arctic up there in the north, coming down into the Midwest of the United States. Yeah, and we're supposed to get down to 0 degrees tonight and like I said, at the beginning we were getting snow squalls. You can actually see out, the trees out the window at the moment, but with the wind, and that's the big factor, the wind chill factor. Now we can have 0 degrees, and this happened, what, a week ago? Maybe a week ago. We had minus 22 that was recorded here in northern Connecticut. And they're calling for a negative 26 tonight. Okay, and it's still, it's going to get into the teens tomorrow, but the nighttime temperatures, obviously, and the winds. But power outages across Minneapolis leaves thousands without heat. Can you imagine being in this temperature without heat? Please, we need to pray for these people. I mean, it's one thing to go through these temperatures. It's one thing that, remember, there's still homeless out there. Shouldn't be, but we have homeless people out there. You see one, take him in. I've taken him in. Whenever I, encounter them. Most of them here are basically just stepping through. They come off, the highway that runs by us about, 3/4 of a mile, maybe a mile, and they come here, make signs, collect money, and then go back on. Yeah. So, yeah. This is this. What do I keep doing to bring these things down here? Must be the channel. Yeah, I let them. I took the cookie thing off. I let them put their ads out there, and I'm not going to do it next time. Anyway, yeah, thousands endured the coldest night in a generation without power. Xcel Energy says equipment failures on power poles is leading to outages all over the metro Tuesday evening, which started at about 5:40 p.m. Peak of the outage. About 8,000 residents were affected in the Twin Cities metro area. As of 11 p.m., less than 600 customers were still without power. The Anzalone family said their Bloomington neighborhood went dark around dinner time. Like many in that metro area, they were bundled up and reading by candlelight. And you would have to need a lot of blankets. Especially, it's one thing if you have a shelter. You can cut that wind down, which is one of the reasons why these temperatures are down so low. You got this, driving powerful wind. I don't know how fast they're going, but there's, fast enough. What do they say? Every, I don't know, 5 or 15 miles per hour. I'm just guessing now. Trying to recall something from quite a few years ago. Well, they told us how they get that wind chill factor, certain amount of mile per hour in the wind, and blah 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 blah. You know. But in any case, if the power does go out here, because we have a generator, if somehow we run out of gas, then there's a wood stove that has never been used, bought, and right now it just looks like some kind of decoration in the cellar. But that's because I haven't had the money enough to take the piping outside and go up above the chimney. That was about $400 last time I checked, which I really should be getting if I can possibly do that somehow. But in any case, there was some other talk about this. Oh yes, this is one in Chicago. This just doesn't sound right to me. It just sounds like there's a big problem waiting to happen. Chicago train tracks have to be literally set on fire to keep trains running amid the record-breaking cold. Oh, there's just something, I'm not an engineer, but I have had experience with, metals or other material, being very frigid, and then warming them up. You would have to maintain that warm up temperature until the temp that's making the change, the outside temperature, until it reaches the amount of heat that you're applying. Then I'll be okay. But if you go because they're lighting these railroad tracks on fire. I saw a picture somewhere. But that's all they were doing is lighting them on fire. I don't know if they're pouring gasoline over them and lighting them on fire, but let's see. Literally being set on fire. Just want to what kind of accelerant they're using. Gasoline, diesel, what? To light these things on fire. But my problem is if the temperature still out there is minus 60, just say, and then you set this fire, and now these tracks, I don't care if it's made of steel or whatever. It's with the heat extremes and the cold extremes, there is going to be push shove. That's the basic thing that I learned in engineering. One thing has a force on another thing, so on and so forth, even chemically. So, if this thing's heating up after it's just been, after it's just gone through negative 60 degrees, say, you're going to heat that up to whatever temperature that is. And then again, when the fire goes out, unless you have somebody maintain it until the temperature goes down, like I was saying, in any case. Hey, Brother Andrew. God bless, brother. Good to see you. Unless I'm just saying, I could see maybe some kind of cracking, some kind of happens if they're going to do that. And that could probably be worse than the actual solution. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not an engineer. I don't claim to be one on TV either. Just something in my head that's saying that that's not a good idea. So I hope that they are engineers and that they are, doing it in a way that I don't know about. Hope that's true. But in any case, that's what they have to do in order to get these trains going. So we will watch and see. We're supposed to get up, into the 40s by the end of the week. So we're not really going to experience the weather that the Midwest and the Upper Great Lakes area are, and we can pray for them that they make it through without too much hardship. All right, so where am I go? I don't want to get to that one yet. Let's go to this one. $840 million in gold bars loaded on a Russian jet in Venezuela. Okay, this is something that the president that has actually supposedly been voted in is doing. It accounts for 20% of the country's holdings on the metal. 840 million. How many ounces did they say that was? I thought they gave us a weight. But anyways, so the destination, they said right here, is unknown. But if it's in a Russian jet, believe me, it's going to Russia or someplace near Russia. And I don't blame the guy for doing it at all, because once America gets involved in a country's takeover, all this stuff that's going on in Venezuela with this interim president, whatever, whoever he is, he just, I looked at him in the eye, I have, and he looks pretty evil. Yeah. Expansion and contraction. Yeah, that's good words. Yep, too much of that, something's going to give. So in any case, too much stuff going on there. We are way too involved in it. We've told you about Venezuela. Go to Florida Maquis again. I can't stress that guy enough on YouTube. He'll tell you all about it. Okay, he has the data for you, all of it. How they got to be in this place in the first time. And remember, Murado, whatever his name is, the one who's actual president now. The country was doing very well, and I said this 2 days ago, because he was not partnering with big oil, and somehow, I don't know. If you partner with big oil, it just means that the people don't benefit. And this president was making sure that the people benefited, and they did benefit, and he did great, just like Gaddafi in Libya. Okay, before Clinton got a hold of him, and he did so much for his people up there. He was well liked. He did a lot of good things. And then when he said what he was going to go to the gold standard, well, that was the bad word. Next thing you know, he's being taken out. And so that's why this guy's got tanks on the border of Cambodia, I guess it is. Wherever, I don't know if it's Cambodia or no, Colombia. I'm sorry, Cambodia. That's another continent, I think. Yeah, Colombia. Yeah, he's got tanks there, and I don't blame him. And this other president, I don't even know what that means. There's a bunch of people out there saying, yeah, but I don't know, crazy stuff going on, and too many people are involved. Let the country take care of itself. Now, if you got some dictator in there and he's going around killing, an ethnic group, like happened in Sarajevo or something like that, then we get involved. Then you send in the UN, not necessarily America, even though I think America is owned by, basically put together by the United States, and NATO too, by the United States. But in any case, things are going to pick up there. Things are picking it up in Syria, with Syria, Iran, and Israel. Where did I see that Syria? Syria is warning. Yeah, I didn't get the article, but I wrote it down. Syria is threatening to bomb the Tel Aviv airport in Jerusalem, in Israel, if they come in and do any more attacks on Iran, who are there obviously on the border to wipe Israel off the map. And so, yeah, CNN will pick right up on that, Mark. Well, CNN they might stay with it all day too, Andrew. Is there anybody left at CNN? Somebody's getting paid over there by Soros, so yeah, somebody's got to be there to put out the false narrative. So, no, it's actually Stephen Ben-Danoon, Israeli Live News, whatever, that guy. I don't listen to him for much, but he does get some kind of stories over there from some German outlet, and that's the last I heard, that there were tanks being brought to the border. So, yeah. In any case, so with that threat, and now if I didn't get this article either, but Iran is claiming that they want to be part of the space race. Yes, yes, you heard me, space race. And then I got this article right here from Radio Free Europe. Okay, Iran security official, no intention to increase the range of missile systems. So if you talk about missile systems, ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's what they were testing in the desert. What was it, last year? You know, as a show of force. If they go and are allowed to go and build these gigantic missiles and claim it's their right to join the game, the space race game, then they'll probably get away with it. But you know that they're going to be testing their missiles for range and accuracy. And that's what they're doing. That's what North Korea did. And they still have those two things orbiting over us. People have forgotten about that again. Yeah, those two things are still orbiting over the United States twice a day. So, you ran into space race, Andrew? Don't tell me. Really? Yeah, I couldn't, I didn't have sneakers that lifted me up that high. Yeah, no space race for me. No, I did enough of that in the 70s. I didn't need anything else. Anyway, so yeah, whatever. Iran's continuing their pursuit of, destroying Israel. And Israel's not going to let it happen. And everyone's worried about that's going to be the spark. And, who knows? There's all kinds of things just waiting to, any spark. Over there at the Spratly Islands, you're talking about Taiwan. You're talking about, China just about everywhere. Then you're talking about Iran, Syria. You're talking about Turkey, who wants to go and invade Syria. First taking out the Kurds that we once supported. I mean, just really all messed up. It's just a bunch of mangled up, a lot of it propaganda, just a way to poke at the war machine, get the next bad guy. Something always slips. Remember the ship in that started the Vietnam War. Some ship over there in some waterway that was supposedly destroyed by the North Vietnamese, and so we had to go in there and give a response. And that's how these things start, and they're started on purpose. Don't you worry about it, Andrew. So yes, they will if they feel it's time. And believe me, man, the way the economy's going, and don't believe anyone. I mean, I know somebody who tracks the businesses and the people losing their jobs, the layoffs, all that stuff is still going on. There's not much in the plus columns. Just a lot of things. I mean, anyway. And I hope Trump's turning that around. Yeah. Anyways, more from the Democratic side. Hate politics, man. Elizabeth Warren. So Elizabeth Warren, and she's talked about a run for president in 2020. Elizabeth Warren wants the federal government to confiscate your savings at gunpoint, all in the name of redistribution. Have you heard that before? This is from Natural News. You always get stories like that from here. Yeah. All in the name of redistribution. Remember that Cortez, who's just been elected newly, talking about, distribution, all this stuff that the wealthy have. She wants to tax them 70%, just them, and give it to the whoever. I mean, the last time I checked, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, I mean, what they wanted to do, they want to, spread the wealth too. And there was once, I don't know if she was the leader or she was a organizer of Black Lives Matter, okay? And she made a list, top 10 list of how things should be distributed. So if any white person has has someone die and an estate and some money that's coming to them, that money should be directed directly to her or any other black family. That's how it worked with her. Most of it was directed towards her. If you sell a house, half of that should go to her. I mean, just stupid, crazy stuff like that. That's just ridiculous. And last time I checked, we're still not a socialist country, even though the Democrats are pushing for it big time. But yeah, at gunpoint. So I read a little bit about this. Yeah. So some of the ideas floated so far. Okay. Yeah, Democrats want to hand out freebies. I mean, that's what Clinton was all about. Free education, which I agree to a point. Free education. And not these horrendous loans that these kids have to pay back for the majority of their adult life. I know because my daughter's doing it. I couldn't afford to send her to college. So these freebies paid for by the U.S. Treasury. That's you and I. Some of these ideas floated so far. Medicare free for all. Free college. Free housing allowances. And a dramatically higher mandated wage businesses must pay the employees. Now, that would be a state-run idea, for sure. To actually go to these businesses and tell them how much they have to pay their workers. I mean, it's almost like that now. I mean, minimum wage is that way. That's telling you how much you have to pay your workers. Whatever happened to, I'm glad and thankful I got a job. No matter what it is. It's better than having nothing. Sure, it is. Take my word for it. It is better than having nothing. Yes, it's these businesses try to take advantage of you. Yes. But it also works out for other people who absolutely need it. All right, so you could go read the article. I can't stand reading some of these things about these socialist parties infiltrating our government. I hope it's cleaned out soon. There is, and I wanted to talk about that. There is, right here. It's